students. Today I am going to discuss the permanent magnet stepper motor. As our discussion is going on under module 5, okay, this bit is falls under module 5, okay, permanent magnet stepper motor. Okay, let us have a glance how the two-phase permanent magnet type stepper motor, the figure it will be shown here. In this figure, this is a permanent magnet rotor. Okay, the stepper motor is made using the permanent magnet rotor. Okay, this is another one view. Stator, which it will be stationary, windings here. Okay, have a, let us one more diagram here. Two-phase 4x2 pole permanent magnet stepper motor. Okay. Earlier I have discussed about the single stack variable reluctance motor. Okay. So this stator of permanent magnet stepper motor is similar to that of single stack variable reluctance motor. Okay. Rotor is cylindrical and consists of radially magnetized permanent magnets. Okay. So here the main difference is the permanent magnet is used. Okay, let us have a discussion over working. What will be happens when phase A is excited? Okay, when phase A is excited, the current will be shown the direction in here. Okay, with respect to this terminal. Fine. Now, when phase A is excited with the direction of current II is flows north pole. Okay, of rotor aligns with the phase A pole on the left. Okay. The rotor turns through 90° when excitation is switched from phase A to B. So when I am switched to this to the B, A to B, what it will be happens? The direction of rotation will be take place in clockwise direction. I repeat here, when excitation is switched from phase A to B, the direction of rotation depends on the direction of current in phase B. When IB is positive, if IB is positive, the rotor turns clockwise direction. Okay. When IB is positive, the rotor turns clockwise, and when negative, it turns anti-clockwise. This is the difference. How your excitation you are doing, applying with the coils. You are applying the what sequence you are applying, whether it will be positive or negative, it depends. If you are applying in the clockwise, then it should be in positive, or else it will be negative, it will be rotates in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, I repeat, when IB is positive, the rotor turns clockwise, and when negative, it turns anti-clockwise. Thus, polarity of the winding currents determine the direction of rotation, and for bidirectional operation, provision has to be made for supply of current in either direction. Okay. Now, comparison with the variable reluctance motor. Okay. Comparison with the variable reluctance. Permanent magnet with variable reluctance motor. Now I am going to discuss here what are the difference. Okay. Here, due to the permanent magnet rotor, it has high detent torque and produces a higher torque per ampere of stator current, and because of higher rotor volume, it has higher inertia and lower torque to inertia ratio. Okay, so hence we will obtain here the higher inertia because the stator current higher the rotor volume, hence we will get what the higher inertia. Hence slower acceleration and response. Okay. The maximum stepping rate for permanent magnet stepper motor is around 300 pulses per second, whereas it can be high as 1200 pulses. Okay, so this is we can see here the difference in the stepping rate for permanent magnet will be limited to the 300 pulses. Okay, 300 steps per second. Okay, 300 pulse per second, whereas it will be 1200 pulses per second for variable reluctance motor. Okay, why it is means because of difficulty in manufacturing small permanent magnet rotor with large number of poles. Because what it will be happens in the rotor circuit, we have to need to put the permanent magnet, right? So it is very difficult to introduce large number of poles. I repeat here, it is difficult to introduce large number of poles. The permanent magnet stepper motor are restricted to larger step size in the range of 30 to 90 degree. Okay. However, disc type permanent magnet stepper motor has overcome the above limitations. So we can go for a higher pulse, means more than 300 pulse per second. For such cases, the motor is introduced here, disc type permanent magnet stepper motor. Okay. Here, this is the construction, disc type. Here, the alternating north and south poles in the disc, which it will be magnetizes. The disc is thin, it can be magnetized up to 100 individual tiny magnets evenly spaced around the edge of the disc. Okay. So here C-shaped, okay, C-shaped two stationary field poles are used. Okay. So let us working, what it will be happen. So this is shaped two stationary field poles offset by half a rotor pole pitch. Okay, it will be excited in such a manner that it will be takes half of the rotations. How means as earlier also I have discussed. Anyhow, once more I will explain here. When one of the phase is energized, the rotor will align itself with its field pole. Okay, when one of the coil is energized, the rotor will align itself with its field pole. Okay, when excitation is shifted to the another phase, the rotor will turns by half the rotor pole pitch in order to align with field pole of the second phase. Okay, I repeat here, one phase it will be aligned with the field poles when excitation is given to the one, for an example coil 1 with respect to 2. Okay, next the another half it will be take place when it is shifted to the another phase, the rotor will turn by half the rotor pole pitch in order to align with field pole of the second phase. Okay, to keep the rotor running in the same direction, second phase is turned off and first phase is turned on with its direction reversed. Okay, so as earlier I also had discussed about the how the excitations which it will be done, and how the rotation in clockwise and anti-clockwise as already has discussed. Okay, let's go through the earlier this one, the same principle here also, but the difference is here the permanent magnet rotor is used and disc is magnetized with alternating north and south poles. Okay, next bit is the features of stepper motor. Okay, they are compatible with digital systems and do not require digital to analog conversions. So any ADC etc is not required. This is the one advantages. Okay, while simple open loop control is good enough for control position and speed. So here simple open loop system is enough to rotate the rotor in a controlled manner or controlled in position. Okay, and the speed also. Okay, it can also be used in closed loop position and speed control systems with either analog or digital feedback. So it is also possible to use in closed loop system. Okay, a wide range of step angles is available off the shelf from the most manufacturers. Okay, in the range of 1.8 degree to 90 degree. Okay, in our lab you are seeing a stepper motor which it has the steps in 1.8 degree, means it will be takes total 360 degree, means how many steps you have to divide 360 divided by 1.8, so that you will come to know. Okay, so here in stepper motor wide range step angles we can it is available. Okay, the range of torque is from 1 micronewton meter to 50 newton meter. Okay, this is the rating of the stepper motors, wide range we can get. Okay, next one is fourth one, bidirectional control is available. Bidirectional means either direction we can, anti-clockwise or clockwise directions we can control is available. Okay, maximum torque occurs at low pulse rate. The stepper motor can therefore accelerate its load easily. The maximum torque occurs means the torque it will be occurs in the low pulse rates itself. So hence what it will be happens, the therefore accelerating is its load easily it accelerates the load. Okay, sixth one is low speeds are possible without a reduction gear. So here we need not to go for reduction gear system. Reduction gear systems is nothing but what there will be a wheel which it will be mounted. So if it will be rotating in the say it is 1,000, it is 1 minute. Okay, see, reduction gear system means there will be a wheel, okay, which it will be has the teeth, you can see this is a gear teeth, and another one wheel it will be is in this manner. Okay, this is the, say if it will be a 100 rpm it will be rotating. For an example, if it is rotating in 100 rpm, this is gear reduction it will be taken. Okay, so depending upon the teeth ratio, say what it will be happens, it will be completes one revolution, assume that it will be completes half revolution, so that the speed of this it will be reduced by 50 rpm. Okay, from 100 rpm to the 50 rpm. Okay, this is called the reduction gear system here. Okay, so here in this it is possible, low speeds are possible without a reduction gears. Moment of inertia is usually low. The starting current is also low. Multiple stepper motors driven from the same source can be maintained perfect synchronization. Okay, the same source can be used. Okay, let us have a glance over the disadvantages. Its efficiency is low. Proper matching between load, motor and its drive is required. Resonance can be problem with variable reluctance motor. Okay, next bit is torque versus stepping rate characteristics and drive circuits for stepper motor. There are important to know for the proper use of stepper motor as shown in figure. Okay, I will go to that figure. Let us first. Okay. So what it is there? To know the proper use of stepper motor. Okay, as the stepping rate is increased, rotor has less time available to drive the load from one position to the next. So I repeat here, already I have discussed about the slew rate, and this graph I have explained S1 and S2. So the same graph it will be extended here to discuss about the proper use of stepper motors. Okay, as the stepping rate is increased, what it will be happens if the more stepping I am going. Okay, if I am going for more stepping rate, so what it will be happens, rotor has less time available to drive the load from one position to the next position, right? So what it will be happens, the time required to drive the load it will be less, because the stepping rate it will be high. Okay, so it will be increased. Beyond a certain pulsing rate, rotor cannot follow the command and begins to miss pulses. So what it will be happens, it will be losing, means begins to miss pulses. For an example, if the number of pulse rate it will be increased very high, so what it will be happens, because it will be it will not get enough time to drive the load. So hence what it will be happens, it will be begins to miss pulses. It's called missed pulses, means the steppings are missed. If the value of low torque and pulsing rate are such that the point of operation lies of the left of curve, okay, here, okay, then the motor can start and also synchronize without missing a pulse. So here what it will be happens, if this is a low torque stepping rate and the low torque, the graph illustrates the stepping rates and the low torque. If within this graph 1, what it will be happens, we will not miss the pulse. Okay, I repeat here, if the values of low torque and pulsing rate are such that the point of operation lies in curve 1, then the motor can start and also synchronize without missing a pulse. Without missing a pulse in this graph. Clear? Once again I will explain. This is the graph, okay, till S1 slew rate 1. What it will be happens, we will get the motor can start and also synchronize without missing a pulse. For an example, for the low torque TL1, the motor can start and also synchronize without missing a pulse if the stepping rate is less than S1. Okay. Once the motor has started and synchronized, the stepping rate can be increased for the same low torque without missing a step in this graph. Okay. And the next discussion is this: if with this low torque, okay, the stepping rate can be increased up to S2 without missing a step or without losing synchronism. However, if the stepping rate is increased beyond S2, if you are going for stepping rate beyond S2, then the motor will lose synchronism. I repeat here, the synchronism means that there will be a definite or particular steps so that it should be rotated. Okay, what it will be happens, if this S2 it will be works as per our requirement, means without losing the synchronism it will be works. If you are going above this S2, okay, if the stepping rate is increased beyond S2, then the motor will lose synchronism. Okay, now I will conclude here that the area between curves 1 and 2 represents, I repeat here, the area between 1 and 2 represents for various torque values the range of stepping rate which the motor can follow without losing a step provided it has already been started and synchronized beforehand. It means both the conditions I am speaking here. One is the motor should start, okay, and second one is without losing the synchronization. Okay, this area is known as slew range and the motor is set to operate in slewing mode. I repeat here, this area is known as what? Slew range, and the motor is set to operate in slewing mode. Okay, next. Okay, so here let us have a few discussion about slew range. Slew range is useful for speed control and it's not suitable for position control, as the stepping rate corresponding to slew range, the motor cannot be started or reversed without losing steps. Okay, to attain slewing speed, whether from rest or from bidirectional mode, the motor must first be accelerated carefully using a lower pulse rate. So it means what? The motor should be start with a lower pulse rate, then after once we can go for the higher pulse rate. Once it will be accelerated, then we can shift to the this one, what the higher pulses of operation. So similarly, to stop or to reverse a slewing range motor must be first carefully deaccelerated to some speed within its bidirectional capability. It means what? We want to go for a reverse a motor, so that we have to deaccelerate it. Then within the safer limit, with bidirectional capability. Such acceleration and deceleration operation without losing any step is called ramping. The term here ramping is associated or we called without losing any steps. Okay, any steps is called ramping. Next discussion bit is drive circuits for stepper motor. Okay, I will discuss in the next class. Okay, with this I conclude this session. Thank you.